Hi everyone, I'm right about to check out of my Airbnb and let me tell you how it went. Little hint. So the good,
Well, I don't really know what to tell you, but a decent thing was that you get out the elevator and your apartment is right across the elevator. You could hit this button to turn on the light in the hallway, that way you could find the right key. So that was pretty decent. And as soon as you walk in, to your right, you have a very little cramped bathroom, which you could barely get into it with the door right in the way. But it works. Not a big deal for me. Then you have the toilet. This doesn't close. This window doesn't properly close. So in the cold winter, it'll be a problem. And it let some bugs in. So you might have to be a little cautious of that. The toilet lid doesn't fully stand up. So you have to hold it. That's a problem. But it's common. This broke in the very first day. I mean, the hot water wouldn't turn off on the bidet, so they came and had to shut off the hot water valve. The shower is pretty decent, good hot water, but you see what I was telling you about the door? It barely clears the counter. Then you come in, and what's that phone doing there? I don't know. Doesn't work for anything. It's like an old feature that stayed in the past, and it did not evolve. But they still have it there. The kitchen, the design looked pretty decent. That doesn't work. The guy told me that the outlet doesn't work, that he was gonna change it. But then I come to find out that it does work. But I was very scared because he told me not to use it. So it was a pain. It was a hassle because I had to plug in the electric stove right near my bedside because there wasn't too many outlets. These miniature fridge, I'm not a fan of, especially with that very miniature freezer, but it works. Not the biggest deal. These chairs, oh, I hate them. These are very uncomfortable. No backrest. You sit on them for more than half an hour, you're gonna regret it. The closet looked like a hotel closet. I did like that the closet was spacious. This, it's pretty useless because they'll just take the whole safe if there was actual break-in. This closet had enough space, to hang some shirts and put your suitcases in there. So pretty decent. The artwork looks pretty good. Those little old chairs, pretty decent. Not too comfortable. The bed was not comfortable. The bed, it would look like two mattresses. I mean, it looked like one full queen mattress, but it was actually two twin size mattresses. This TV was miniature and old, and the remote really didn't work. You had to get close. And the worst of all was this AC remote. The AC worked very good, but the remote didn't work, so you had to stand up right beneath it for it to turn on. The balcony, pretty decent, but on the second floor with a tree right in front of it. It gives you some privacy, so that was a good thing about it. Not a real complaint. But a lot of this tree dirtied a lot of the balcony, but nothing they could do. Decent balcony, not gonna complain. But the AC, the hot vent was blowing right there, so you couldn't really use the balcony with the noise from the AC or the hot air coming out. Now, another bad thing, that door works, but this door did not work. So the balcony would never close. You see, the door doesn't work. The lock is broken. So pretty defeats the purpose of a door if it doesn't create any safety. They should get that fixed, but it's something very common in Buenos Aires. I've stayed at multiple places that had the sliding door lock broken. So that's a very big thumbs down. Your safety and your items. So what I did, I put a stick there. I found a broom and I removed the stick and I put it there to give me an extra layer of safety since the lock doesn't work. Look at these blackouts. They really block out all of the light. I'm being sarcastic. I'm kidding, guys. All the light bleeds through, but not a big problem. So, little counter here, pretty decent. These lights were terrible. They had no lighting. I swear in the video it looks really lit because it's during the daytime and Now let
One
me
of
show
the
you the
decent
pool.
things is that the apartment is right across the elevator. So you come out of the elevator, you go directly into the apartment. It's on the 7th floor, which is the top floor. But you need to go up one more through the staircase.
To be honest, my main problem with this rental was that it had no Wi-Fi. When I booked it on Airbnb, it said it had Wi-Fi. But as you saw, in the apartment, there was no designated modem or router. What the owner gave me was the password to a Wi-Fi from a neighbor across the hallway from another unit, but that does not work. That does not work. I had to stand really close to the door, or sometimes even go in the hallway for it to even be able to connect. And that was a nuisance. We're in 2025, people. We know Wi-Fi is very important. I've booked places before with no Wi-Fi, but it was advertised as no Wi-Fi, so there was no big deal. I knew that beforehand. But this place, although modestly nice, even though the pool was miniature and empty half my stay, and we got a little bit of rain, that wasn't the problem. The biggest concern was that there was no Wi-Fi, and the biggest concern was that the owner was not willing to compromise. At the end of my stay, I asked for a modest 5-10% discount refund, and they were not willing to negotiate. They were not willing to give me anything. I told them Wi-Fi was very important for me and I had to pay extra for my package on my cell phone, and they didn't care. So they're very hard to work with, very hard to, have a reasonable or understanding.
This is the apartment from hell. It's 1,500 pesos, over $1.40, something like that, each to wash your clothes and to dry your clothes. So it comes around to a little over $3 or around $3. And it doesn't work. That one just made noise, but you could tell it wasn't moving. It wasn't spinning. It was just made noise. I guarantee it wasn't spinning. And you have to load it. You have to fill the water yourself with this because it doesn't fill. It takes forever to fill, and the time continues to run. So it eats up all your time, and it won't wash your clothes properly. Like it didn't wash my clothes properly at all. And then you come to the dryer. You load up the dryer with all your clothes, and you stick a coin in there, and it steals your coin because this is not turned on. It's not turned on. It won't give you your coin back. I heard it drop, and it's off. And what do? I don't know. Did they shut this off? I don't know, but I can't touch that. It's a joke. This is ridiculous. Worst experience ever. I really found this funny. The elevator talks. It says, "Thank you for your visit." This is the lobby. It looks like a hotel lobby.
Thank you guys for watching. If you appreciate, give me that thumbs up, hit that like button, and I'll leave more information in the comment section. So please check out the comment section of this video. Take care.